Did I see you raising your hand, Professor?
I
call on you.
Thank you. I was going to say where you were ending up, which is we need to increase the incentives and rewards for bringing these lawsuits. We have bounties in other areas, such as securities laws. We can bring that into antitrust. So, and that's good on both sides, by the way. It's good for incentivizing the lawsuits to be brought. It's also good for deterring anti-competitive conduct because the penalties are greater.
Yes, exactly. Terrific point. Terrific point. And there's something that is, I think, particularly market reinforcing about private suits, because you have private actors who in real time are responding to harms. If they are properly incentivized and able to get into court to enforce their rights, that's good for the company. That's good for all of the other people who are in a similar position. It's good for the government. The government is not expending resources. It's good for the market. As it turns out, the people who drafted the Clayton antitrust law were pretty smart, actually. They had a good intuition 100 years ago, and maybe it's time that we made better on that promise. Do you want to say something, Ms. Harper? I'll give you the last word.
I was just going to add, one, I love the creativity of different ideas of how we can take on the power of big tech. I think it's an all-hands-on-deck situation, and every approach that we can adopt, we should be to stop their lawlessness. I will just add, though, and we hear this from a lot of market players, that it can also be quite scary to take on that public lawsuit for fear of retaliation. We know it's happening behind the scenes, but once you become the named party in a lawsuit, that can also heighten quite a bit that risk. And so I do think it's a both and, funding the antitrust enforcers, making sure they have the resources to bring these suits on behalf of a lot of the businesses who can't for themselves, but then also encouraging private suits as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with all of that, and that's absolutely correct. I think absolutely correct. I'll just end with this. It's a point I've been making recently in other contexts, but there is something that is uniquely attention-grabbing to these companies about facing a jury, having to face a jury maybe and with a competitor who's sitting on the other side of the table and facing a judgment that will run into the billions of dollars. It really gets the attention of these CEOs and frankly their shareholders. I remember the FTC fined fined Meta not that long ago. It was a pretty large fine. Meta didn't meaningfully change their conduct. Their stock price went up the next day after the fine was announced. It's ridiculous. How would they like to face like a billion lawsuits that could run into damage totals of tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars? I don't know. Seems like that was the intuition of the drafters of the Clayton Act. I'm way over my time, Mr. Chairman. You've been super patient. Thank you.